ladies, because right now it seems like the fire tunes are coming from the ladies are so flow. You know what I'm saying? South Florida ladies, big up yourself. Zimma that one ya proper. It's called Moondance. Her name's Alecia Marie.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance beneath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that plays off the low. And all the night magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moonlight with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you?
Fire tune, Moondance, Alecia Marie. I love it. It mad.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance beneath the cover of October sky.
Hello world.
And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that plays off the low. And all the night magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moonlight with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning is come. And I know that the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make it my own. Anytime I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know how much you want me that you can hide. Can I just have one more moonlight with you, my love?
Song's called Moondance, ladies and gentlemen.
Just make some more.
When I say production proper. One of the best I heard in a minute, man. I'll tell no lie. So we gotta find some way. We gotta connect with the folks behind the music. We gotta chop it up for a quick second and see where I go on. Zimmer. I'll go ahead. Can you hear me?
G Cole.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you something. I'm going to know about you because I know you're a technical person. I'm going to come in the studio this evening. I'm going to turn some things that were right, left, and some things left, right. The same stuff that I go every day, and all went whack. All right? It's like I'm going to know if it's something I'm going to used to, I can't function. I can't function.
Right.
You know it go already. Brother, Moondance, brand spanking new tune from Alecia Marie. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jano, it bad. I soaked it in. I drove around and soaked it in all day. Just I soak in the tune, and we can't help ourselves, especially me when I get a flood of things that come my way, and when one sticks out, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna know say normally when you put your stuff together, you chronicle the moment from beginning to end in terms of coming up with which song we're gonna do, the production part of it, even before the artist enter the building or even knows about the song.
Oh, of course, of course.
Why Moondance, brother? Why Moondance?
I tell you what, I'm a huge jazz fanatic, and I wanted to try something that's just off the grid a little bit, you know, something that most people not messing with. How can we fuse those two genres, jazz and reggae? And I always I always was really really mesmerized by Van Morrison's delivery of the song, and then another gentleman by the name of Michael Bublé did the song, and I was like, no, 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 this is too much magic for me. I gotta, yeah, man. So I said, let me put together something. Let me experiment a little bit and see if we can let people who are true music lovers understand that reggae is magic also. We can do things with it that will excite the mind.
Wow. And that is that's exactly where it's at. I am excited, but no John Public excited. I'm breaking equipment in the studio right now. But bro, let me tell you something. We talk about the decline in our music, and every day I kind of harp on it, is what it is. And when we say I mean that on this side of the fence, because when we talk about reggae music, it is still climbing, it is still successful, it's doing stuff, it's just elsewhere, right?
Right.
And I always feel like it has a lot to do with what the product that's being delivered. A lot of the time we talk about the marketplace and the consumer, but at the end of the day, are we giving them products that's worth being in the marketplace, that's worth consuming? And a lot of the music that I listen to that I really dig right now, that give me a good feeling, is coming from the West Coast, Australia, Fiji, Hawaii, that kind of place. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And I'm talking about proper production where, it takes some time, some effort, some energy, some musicalities in it. Not just, okay, let me get a keyboard and I put it together and it's 4 pieces. Some of the new stuff is tailored for 4 instruments. Gets keyboard, bass, drum, but 4 people can play it. More time when I hear proper production, I hear the musicality in it. I mean, a lot of overdubs, a lot of production, a lot of synths, a lot of strings, a lot of horns, a lot of just the effort that other genres put into music.
Yes, sir.
I always hear that when I hear a Zimmer production, right?
Thank you. Much respect for that.
Bro, brother, you put your foot in it. Now, on this song, Moondance, because like you mentioned, the original and then the preceding reinterpretation by Michael Bublé, both fire musically too, right?
Exactly.
Is there any fear? Is there any concerns about that when you take up such a big task? I said, boy, I gotta make sure I knock it out well.
Well, yes, of course. Naturally, you want to make sure that you leave your impression on people. So. The opinion is going to be, wow, yeah, man, you did a good job of it, because so often people cover material and then it's just lost. It just get lost in the shuffle because you just do a lackluster. You apply lackluster effort in the process. With this one, say something. If you want to create an impression, why not shoot for the mountain? Because this song, the original and the Michael Bublé, both of them powerful. So I said to myself, something, if we are going to take a swing at this, it has to be impressive.
Right.
So, just from the get-go, we decided, we're going to do this, and then most times you do a cover, you make sure it's the same gender that originally did it.
To be safe.
To be safe. Yeah, man. And let me tell you something. I thought long and hard about it. I said, something, Alecia Marie is a very deadly singer. So let's throw it at her.
Right.
And if you notice, I used shades of the Couscous bass line. Yes, so to add a little familiarity,
right?
Put the little vintage touch to it.
Wow.
Yeah, man, and I used some serious musicians. So on drums we had Michael Ramsey, who formerly of Burning Spear, who plays with Code Red sometimes. On saxophone we had Fitzroy Minot. Happy belated bird, Fitzroy Minot out of Jamaica. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah, and we have Gershie on trumpet.
Wow.
That's Gershie is one of the 3 Greaves brothers.
Wow.
Yes. And on keyboards we have Tammy Parks. amazing talent. She's actually the daughter of Lloyd Parks.
Mm.
And so she was the keyboard player that we had doing Shutter Highlight on guitar.
Choo.
Yeah, man, it's an all-star cast,
Woo.
man. And of course I played the bass on it. So
You couldn't give me a tambourine or something, my lord. I like a seashell or something, man.
a little triangle.
Like a triangular thing. Bro, let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
man.
Whenever we do, I am not a fan of and I'm choosing my words carefully, an improperly done cover. I am not a fan of it. Leave it alone. Leave it on the shelf.
Yeah, man.
Especially when the original is musicality at its finest. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have a lot of songs out there that ain't. And if you're going to redo it, then you don't have that pressure of creating musicality, right? It's just create a little thing because the original was a little thing, right?
Right.
But this right here was something major. And you made sure you went in and you, brought in the right talent. Because here's the thing, you're a producer and a musician. So I know. And those who, ladies and gentlemen, we're chopping up right now with Zemroy Lewis from Zimmer Entertainment for those who are just joining us. I know as a musician and as a producer that you could have played every last one of them instruments yourself.
Yes, sir.
Right? But your avenue of expertise is the guitar and the bass. All the others you're great at, but those are really your avenue of expertise. Some producers are saying, no, something, I play everything. I R. Kelly the thing, shrink wrap, photo, everything, right? I do.
Yeah.
What's the reason? I'm asking this because I want the people who are coming up in the biz as producers and curators of the craft to look at it from this perspective. What was the reason why you went all out, brought the people in, the necessary parts? And I'm talking about the best. You have access to the best, but guess what? A lot of other people do have access to the best too, and they're still not going that route. What was the reason for you bringing in that kind of talent rather than saying, you know what, I'm Zimmer, I can play everything myself?
Well, multiple reasons. One, we're covering something that's a serious jazz number. And when you're covering jazz, I mean, jazz is a fusion of ideas. You know, sometimes you play stuff that's not theoretically correct. It's just a feel, a vibe, and you five souls get together and give their opinion on this conversation we call music. So, I said to myself, you know something, rather than sit down and sequence this thing out, let us continue with the same jazz perspective.
Right.
Bring in live musicians and let them play.
Right.
No, that's one. The second thing is there's stuff that even though I can play the instrument, or I can play guitar. I could have played guitar on the track or whatever. There's something that other musician is going to play that you could not. You couldn't conceive. No matter how good you are, this is his opinion of what to do here. He's gonna feel this kind of vibe at this part in the song that you're not gonna feel.
Right.
Yeah, and it gives live music a whole different feel when you introduce so many different opinions into the song.
Wow.
You know?
I dig that. I love that perspective because it's sharing, because I feel like a lot of times people don't bring in people because they don't want to share credit.
I don't understand.
I hate them smartwatch SMR. So I feel like it's sharing. It is like you said, it's fellowshipping, you know, 'cause when five souls are come together, that's fellowshipping for music, right?
Yeah, man.
And that's why we get the outcome that we get. So now we're sitting here, we're talking production, which we're going to come back to in a circle. We're talking production, we're talking about musicianship and the whole nine. There are a few dope voices in South Florida, right? There are also some amazing voices in South Florida. One of those amazing voices is Alecia Marie, right?
Oh yes.
But there are others, and you had options and you could. Why Alecia Marie? What was it about her as an artist or her as a vocalist that made you say, I have confidence, I have faith that she can execute, especially putting it on a bed, on a platform that's already greatness based on all the people who've already contributed to the production of this. What made you say, Alecia Marie, let's do this?
Okay, there's plethora of reasons. Alecia Marie is what you call the dream artist to work with. Somebody who is willing to experiment, get out of our comfort zone, and try something new. Now, I give you the story to this. She was sitting in the studio while we were working on another song, and then I said, something, I want to cover Moondance. I don't know yet who we're going to use to cover it. The original Moondance was done in a different key,
right,
from this. We had to move it to make it comfortable for her to do it. So we were sitting there. We pull up Moondance on YouTube, and everybody's listening, and I'm like, wow, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? And we are having a conversation, me and a couple of musicians, and then she starts singing the song, and I'm like, wait a minute.
So up to that point, she was not the intended vocalist.
No, she was not.
Wow.
She was not, because, like I said, we were thinking a male artist.
Right.
And we stopped the record and started to work on something else. And then we took a pause from the other project, and then she walked in and she started singing Moondance from the top in the key that you're now hearing it in.
Wow.
And I noticed that key was the same key as Couscous.
Right.
Which for those who don't know, Couscous is that rhythm that Sizzla did Dry Cry on.
Right.
No, not Dry Cry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That one. Can't keep a good man down. What's the name of that again?
No, that's the name of the song. Can't keep a good man down.
Okay, right. All right. So that's the bass line. And I was like, something? D minor. Let's try something. And I just started playing the bass line. I'm like, wow, something? So I started taking some notes, and she's there sitting there and saying, something? I would like to try that, If it don't work out, it don't work out, but I would like to try it.
Wow. Brave.
And that's how she is. She's somebody who, she's not afraid to try something, because, we always had this conversation while we're doing production. Something, that's why we have a rewind button or an erase button. If it don't work out, we can't always dump it, but never say we didn't try.
And for the Sizzla Kalonji fans out there, I said it's really called Solid as a Rock. My bad. Is the name of it?
Right, Solid as a Rock. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, man. So that was it. And
then from there, you decided, okay, magic is happening.
Yeah, magic is happening. I sat down and I said, something? She's gonna sing it. She has great chemistry. Her vocal has great chemistry with the pieces that we use on the record. We use them on some other records that are going to be coming out. So some really amazing songs going to be coming out.
So hold up. So you're working on a project for her?
Yes, we are.
Mad EP or album?
Album.
Woo!
Yes.
No.
We have over 13 tracks already recorded.
Already recorded?
Yes.
So you got the tracks, you got the music, got everything right about it. It's just a matter of following the formula and dropping the singles and giving it time to breathe, promoting it and doing it. But right now, if you wanted to, you could drop the whole project.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If we call me Russian Connects and getting a hard drive, because you know what I'm saying? I know people. I know Vladimir and them. Brother. And then the ramp. I love the song. I love the essence of what it is, but I think it's an important song. And the reason why I think it's an important song, well, outside of the fact that it's vindication for my ears, because I do get a lot of madness, right? But it gives me something for soaking that's worth listening to. But the reason why I say it's a necessary song right now and an important song is we're at that point right now where, again, the music that's coming out is failing, and we can't just talk about the commercial aspect of it. Let's just talk sonically, right? And that's one thing when we're with the ice too, because there's no rush. There's no rush to get the thing out. You'll take your time and to marinate and it stew and the artists, because I've spoken to those artists that's been in the studio with Zimmer, and it's like you think the product is done and you're ready for it to come out and you're ready, and it's not, because you're taking your time and doing what you do with it. And I think,
of course,
we need a little bit more of that. I think there's a rush from folks, artists especially, to get this stuff out. And once it's out and the world is listening to it, now you're in real time sitting down, hearing the stuff that you could have done better. You can always do something better and improve upon something, but now you're in real time with the rest of the world, listening to the song, not in its best form, because you had no patience. How important is it to exercise patience when it comes to producing music?
Patience is everything in music, especially because, J. Cole, everybody. Okay, let's take a little walk down memory lane. I've had the pleasure of playing for dozens and dozens of legends, and thus when I sit and listen to their stories, I've learned a lot about how hits used to be made. You know, everybody has a laptop right now, so basically everybody is a studio, and that is contributing also to the demise or the devaluing of the music. Back in the day, you know, when I used to sit down and listen to the Alton Ellises, the Gregory Isaacs, the Bob Andys, these legends that have passed, and some that are still here, tell me stories about what they had to go through to make a hit song. It's similar to the process that I use right now. Credit to them. I have to give them the credit, because they made me look at it in a certain way, from a certain perspective, in order to do it right. Don't just rush it because you have all this equipment now, because technology allows you to do this or do that. Play the music right, and if it's not right the first time, do it again.
Right.
And again and again. Bob Marley has 5-6 different stages of each of them songs that he did.
Yep.
If you hear all those songs in their original form, you wouldn't believe that this man recorded these songs so many times until he got it to this stage that it is today, that it's so palatable to the rest of the world.
Yeah. Facts. And if you hear some of them too, it's amazing. It's miles away from the ones that we celebrate right now. The songs
miles away.
We're celebrating them saying as the greatest thing in the world, and I hit your ringtone, I hit you that, until you get that record, that vinyl from the Mellow Moods era, that have you listening to the version of it before it was taken to another level and overdubbing and everything going on it. And that's just the process of music, which I think is the issue with what we do. In other genres, somebody will put out music, and when you listen to them speak, it took them 2 years to create that album, and then it takes them another 2 years to bring it to the masses. We want to create the album in a week, and then we also want to drop the entire album in a week. And I think those are the things that are crippling us and crippling the industry. All right.
Right. You mentioned a keyword earlier on. Patience. We need to have patience where this thing is concerned. You piss some people off in the process, but one thing I know, when the product is done right, everybody, even if they were pissed initially,
right,
everybody is going to be satisfied with the project and understand why it took more time than what the average project takes today.
And you can't tell when you hear it, When you hear it, you could tell what was rushed versus what was allowed to simmer. It's like meals, you know what I mean? It's like food. You can tell the stew versus the one that was just thrown on the grill.
Microwave, different from
vibes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a serious thing. And for that, I am very, very appreciative because when I listen to the music, sometimes I'm by myself, but oftentimes I listen to music so much that oftentimes I'm with others. And I want to be proud to be able to crank it up as loud as I crank up the other stuff. And I don't want nobody ask me, because here's the thing that gets to me all the time when I'm playing some music, because I don't ask for a feedback. My way of getting that feedback is playing the music and just leave it. Hear what they got to say. I got my wife with me, I got my daughter with me, I got other people with me some of the times. And if they just love it, I'm going to watch the reaction. Or if they ask me if I play it again or whatever, I know we're in a good space. If they ask me if somebody sent me that song to listen to, then I know we're not in a good space, right?
Exactly.
Kind of somebody sent it out to check, for listen to. I'm like,
yeah, man. Or if they ask you if it's the final product that.
Yeah. Anytime they start asking questions like those, you know we're not in a good place. You know what I mean?
Man.
So when I play this song, my critical ladies, first of all, they didn't know that they figured it was just something that's in my Tidal playlist or my Apple Music playlist, because it fits in. And that's what I love to do is when I'm on radio or even at home, I don't want to segment anything and put it in the, for lack of a better word, what comes across like amateur hour. I want it to be mixed in with the biggest of records. It I play before She's Royal, and it I play after Berries and stuff like that.
Right.
And it blends right in, and the quality is up there with everything else. So this is a record, brother. I must say congratulations to you, to the artist, to all the musicians on board, and say thank you for the process, because God knows how many years I hurt me. I mean, need things like these to listen to. You know
man, thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. It's always gratifying when you find out that people really appreciate the work that you put in. You know,
it's a lot of work. So. It's a lot of work. So that word is important. Work. You know,
yes, sir.
Mark, you as musicians and producers, you love what you do, but if there's no work put into it, then you're gonna get something mediocre. Speaking of production, speaking of that avenue, before we let you go, I read an article, and you know everybody's trying to find out why there's an issue with the music and how the world is receiving it right now. I've got my own gripe because I'm in South Florida, so I got to focus on my backyard, my domain.
Right.
But Jamaica is the hub, and that is all our domains. But I read an article where Beenie Man attributed the lacking quality, and he particularly mentioned dancehall, but I am going to attribute it to reggae also, because we do see some of that in the reggae music too, that some of our best have migrated. And he's talking about the likes of like a Russian and the likes of like a Don Corleone, and a couple of others, you know, and then some of the others that aren't doing it that much anymore is almost like exclusive, like your Tony Kellys and your Dave Kellys. The fact that we're not getting an abundance of production from them, but we're still getting an abundance of production, is an issue. We always complain about brain drain in Jamaica in terms of our brightest and our smartest, whether it be educators, lawyers, doctors, whatever, leaving and going elsewhere. But this sounds to me like the same thing from the arts. Is that something that ever crossed your mind, that listen, we're bleeding, you know what I mean, in terms of our talents, or we're hemorrhaging in terms of our talents, and they're probably going overseas, so that contributes, like Beenie Man said, to the lackluster production that's being released?
Well, that is, I wouldn't say, yes and no. I think actually it's yes, but with an explanation. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're faced with something and you're trying to figure out whether it's the chicken or the egg come first, you know, cause or effect. What happened is that a lot of these producers, the great producers out of Jamaica, have become tired of how easy garbage. I don't want to piss off people, but honestly, but how easy garbage can take, you know, first place,
right,
first, second, and third place actually in the nation's playlist, and then people actually doing quality music is not being received by the public because somebody else or some other set of people made garbage very palatable. You understand? So people used to hear garbage, and but let me tell you something. If you're a person who only eat curry
Mm-hmm.
and you refuse to eat anything but curry, but one day you find yourself so hungry, you will tear up some brown stew.
That is true.
Yes, you understand?
True.
So what happens now is that people have been fed this garbage for so long, and now them develop an appetite for it.
Yeah.
And so you have the giants, the genius minds who end up having to skip genres because they're very active in the music industry, you know. But in some cases, these people have moved on to other genres that appreciate their work.
True. I.e. Stephen McGregor and all them guys that's in California right now.
Exactly, Stephen McGregor, Sly, even Sly.
Yeah.
The Kelly brothers.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a bunch.
I think we don't realize, and our people don't realize that a lot of the dope R&B songs, some hip hop songs, some of the pop stuff that you're hearing right now is being created. It might not come out as saying produced by, because you know the powers that be, once them get a hold of it and them cut the check, they get the diddy thing and their names on it, right? But
exactly.
That's what's making a lot of the other genres soar so much more, is because our talent is producing over on that side of the sphere also.
Exactly.
Jano.
There's a bunch of people, a bunch of us in reggae that are doing good work in other genres. Even our own J Vibe right here in town, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's doing super work in other genres.
Yep.
You know, but I tell you, it's going to be a decade long debate, mm-hmm. or more on the journey to fixing this thing. Because let me tell you something, this thing, if it don't fix, and it's not just music now.
Yeah,
it's affecting crime.
Yeah.
You understand? So, you know,
and some people like to act like that's not a part of it too. When we say, boy, the product affects what these kids do, you know, and it amazes me when people try to deny that too, you know, because again, when you want to get romantic, you play music. When you want to get cranked up for some work, you play music. When you're ready for play a ball, you play some music. Whatever vibe you're in, you play some music.
Exactly.
So what?
And I always use the example. If I want to have a romantic evening with my lady, mm-hmm. it's going to be a Barry Salmon, a Luther Vandross, mm-hmm. you know, that kind of music.
Right.
So if I'm trying to use music to get into that mood, what kind of music do you think I'm going to play if I have beef with somebody and I'm going to go take care of that?
Yep.
There's that kind of music that is.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not saying it is another debate now as to how that go, because do you censor people's thoughts? Because your music is your thought and your opinion, mm-hmm. Transported on rhythm and melody. Now, this is going to be another conversation, G Cole, because guess what? Mm-hmm. How do you ask a youth, again it come back to culture and all of them thing there, and levity. How do you ask a youth who does not know love to write a love song?
Well, you know, you're absolutely right about that. And I think where the major issue is not so much that the stuff gets created, you know. It's what's not being created. We don't have an equilibrium no more. There's no balance. Remember, Batman tune make a long time, you know. Batman tune make a long time. But there was a balance.
Balance.
Right now, the negative stuff is being pushed more. Right? And you just mentioned a while ago, say, okay, how am I going to ask somebody who knows not love to write about love? The crazy thing about it is a lot of them do what they don't know is the violence, but that they must sing about because it sounds like an easier boss.
That's the crazy thing about it. Yeah.
But what you gonna do? I got some folks over in the UK, DJ Lance, large up himself, he missed the song. Don't worry yourself, man. We'll drop it again. All right. And I got a lot of people loving the tune right now. What up, everybody in the UK? So we'll drop it for them one more time, and I'm gonna be skipping town for a week, and I'm gonna be back. I'm hoping when I get back, can have you live in the side of the studio along with Alecia Marie, and you know what I mean. The world can see and listen and do a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
My brother.
yeah.
I give thanks. And the song is out right now on all platforms. iTunes, everywhere. I checked. I did my check it. Did it? You know what I mean? And
Yes.
I remember when I called you and I'm like, where's the tune? It was actually out. You know? What it was is I was spelling the name incorrectly.
Okay.
So whomever, the powers that be did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, man. I
So-
really appreciate your sentiments for the song, man. Because you, my friend, we need you.
Give thanks, brother.
we need good music. We need G Cole.
Give thanks, my G. Give
Great.
thanks.
Yeah, man, you're doing great work, man.
And continue to do the works, continue to blaze the fire, continue to drop the vibes on the people. And I must say, you see that there's a word now, and I'm not even gonna call it banner, whatever the case may be. There's a word out here that has contributed significantly to what we're doing when it branches off. I'm talking about this word Code Red, right? It's a compound word, but when it's a Code Red band, talking about, you mentioned J Vibe over there doing some other stuff, right? Yourself doing the production, Shatta. I don't know if a lot of people know how amazing Shatta is as a producer, right?
And writer, yeah.
And a songwriter, and some of the younger crop. Big up Desi every time. Some of the younger crop that you have coming into that's exploring the Bryans of the world, the Kevas of the world.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah,
exploring the
Kevo,
avenue.
Brian, yeah.
Yeah, man. So continue to do what you do because your influence is evident, and I appreciate it, and I sure know that the listeners appreciate it too.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for having me, man.
General, thanks for joining us. And again, we're gonna catch up live and direct, but I gotta get him some more of that tune before they starts doing me.
All right, my boss. Respect.
Blessings.
Okay, take care.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, brand spanking new show. Alecia Marie.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance beneath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all night magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moonlight with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning is come. And I know that the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make it my own. Anytime
Wait, sir, from the top, DJ Lance, I got you covered, all right? Big up everybody watching live on Jamaicans.com. Homegrown with G Cole platform. Everywhere, hope it up. What going, fam?
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance beneath the cover of October sky.
Brooklyn's in the building.
All the leaves on the trees are falling.
South Africa, there.
Out of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to
Hey, Camille.
calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all night magic seems to whisper and hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moonlight with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight.
Louisiana's rocking with us. What up, Sharon? How you doing? So good to see ya. Brand spanking new Alecia Marie. Zimmer Entertainment. It's called Moondance. Proper on show DJ Lance. John, no way, said no. Make you know what? You know what, Slade?
Make love to you too.
South Africa's with us.
Can't wait till the morning is gone, and I know that the time is just right. And straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make it my own. 'Cause anytime I touch you, you just tremble inside, and I know how much you want me. That you can hide. Can I just have one more Moondance with you, my love? Can I just make some more Moondance with you, my love? Can I just have one more Moondance with you?
Had to pull it from the top. Bad tune.